All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Monday morning. Let's go ahead and throttle up and get airborne for our full throttle training this exciting week, man. Everybody fired up to be here. Man, a lot going on in the market, in the world. It is an exciting time to be investing. Now, if that doesn't hit you right, you're most likely doing it wrong. Let me throw out a couple polls first. Whenever I start a new full throttle class, I want to gauge where we are. So as a lot more people are entering the room, let me go ahead and do this one first. How familiar are you with TOPGUN options? Okay, hey, I'm a current member, former member, and I love that because I love people coming back. And I left. No, I want to come back because I missed the squadron. Somewhat or no. So let's knock this out real quick. Gives me an excuse to drink my cup of coffee. So let's answer this poll. I'm a current member, former member, somewhat, or I have no idea who this guy is. Didn't even introduce myself yet. Okay, a couple more seconds. 65% of you have voted. Let me go ahead and close that and share that with you all. So good. All right, so obviously, as you know, men lie, trades don't. But as I said in my email, social media, you're joining regular TOPGUN options member briefs Monday through Wednesday. I might do a Thursday brief if we have some room for new members. If not, I'm not doing what I used to do in the old days. Like, I'll still do a free brief on Thursday. No, I won't. If we get our 50 new members, we're going to be done. So okay, let me hide that one. Another one. What's your investing knowledge? This helps me with sound check extreme echo. You guys have me loud and clear? You guys got me? Anybody else having any audio issues? Audio, speakers, loud and clear. Nope, John, that's on you, man. A bunch of folks are saying no, absolutely not. All right, so please answer this poll. I need to know your options. I'm sorry, your investing knowledge. New, I trade, dabble a little bit, or I trade stocks and options. Okay. Again, I appreciate this. This is going to help me gauge what I need to do for the next couple of days. Okay. New to investing and or trading, I trade or invest in stocks, mutual funds, or ETFs. I trade stocks and options, man. I'm in it. Okay. We're seeing a double bottom at 56.50 right now in the S&P 500. We'll see if we hold it. Okay, let me close that one. So 3% of you are new. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. I've said this a couple times in my career, or more than a couple times. Now is one of the best times to start investing or trading. What are the other times that I said this? The COVID crash, the financial crisis, the dot-com bubble, right? Great opportunities right now, folks. 14%, and then the vast majority, 83%, trade stocks and options. All right, real quick, couple more. Now, what's your options knowledge? What's an option? I get the basics of calls and puts and covered calls. I trade spreads, or I'm an options Jedi. I would assume that most of my current TGO members are going to say they're options Jedis, which is great. As long as you're not Anakin. I guess he turned it around at the end. What's an option? Basic calls and puts, trade spreads. I'm an options Jedi. All right. 60% have voted. What's everybody else doing? Putting on your bunny slippers and your robe? I don't want to see that. All right. We'll close that one. Let me share it. What's an option? Okay, good. I love you people. I love you. I was born the world's best fighter pilot. That's a bad example. I was going to say I wasn't born the world's best options trader. That's the truth. I learned and trained and became one. I was born the world's best fighter pilot. 14%, yeah, basic calls and puts, covered calls. I trade spreads or an options Jedi. Awesome. All right, and the final poll to help me gauge where I need to take you all this week. What is your strategic mindset for the next 3 to 6 months? If you're new to investing, you might not know some of these terms. Bullish. I think the market's going to go up. Wiz. Bearish. We're going down. We're on an express train to hell, going down, right? Or elevator. That's from Aliens, the best marine space movie. Volatile. Up, down, sideways, all over the place, man. I have no idea what we're doing in the next 3 to 6 months. Or sideways. Think we might have found a bottom here, Wiz, and we're going to kind of move sideways. Okay, this one I really care about. So if you're mentally clubbing in the Bahamas right now, get back, sit here, and pay attention to what I'm talking about. Bullish market up, bearish market down, volatile or sideways. Okay, 65% have voted. I don't know what the rest of you are doing, but you're going to owe me 50 push-ups if you don't. Okay, let me close this one and share it with you. I am shocked, and I disagree with, you ready? Let me share this with you. This on your screen is what makes a market. 15% of you are bullish, 7% bearish, 78% up, down, sideways. Welcome to investing. This is what makes a market, folks, are those answers right there. First of all, I believe most of you are wrong. This market is about to see a rip your face off rally. So right now is I've used this chart for most of my career. I'm going to introduce myself in a second, folks, but we're going to level set. I've been doing this for over 3 decades, 1991. Where are we on here, right? Here's the smart money, here's institutional investors, here's the public. Where's the public right now? Looks like whatever that was, 78% of you are what? Around here or here or maybe here? Where are you? Or where do you think we are? This is in the history of markets. There's the stealth phase where we kind of go up. There's the awareness phase. Hey, everybody get in the pool. There's the mania phase. Then there's the blow off phase. But let's be very clear. I'm going to show you the S&P 500 here in a second. Let's be very clear. Look at that. This is a 6-month chart of the S&P 500. There's the election of the second time, Donald J. Trump, right? Boom, November 7th. And then here we are. Oh my God, what a meltdown. I've never seen anything like this. I'm kidding, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think this is a meltdown, you're an idiot. You have absolutely no idea what you're doing. It's the Ron Burgundy market, right? Well, that escalated quickly. Did it? I am 16-1 in the past since Donald Trump's been elected. 16 trades and 1 loss on the S&P 500. We are printing money. This is the meltdown you're talking about, folks. Let's take a little history lesson. Okay. Why do I pick this chart? That's me as an ensign at Naval Air Station Key West down there in the Keys, duh. Right here, folks. $25 a month to the USAA Aggressive Growth Mutual Fund. Until I realized, and I got my statement each month, I'm like, why? What are all these fees? Oh, well, I'm the manager. and I get paid to manage it. You get paid to pick stocks? I can pick stocks. My wife keeps Ann Taylor in business. My American Express card is on fire. And McDonnell Douglas, or I'm flying this airplane. So let's take a look at at least the history in my lifetime of markets. Right here, I was an instructor pilot in Miramar, teaching young Marine and Navy pilots, aviators, how to fly and fight the Hornet and land aboard the boat at night for the first time. The dot-com boom. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Then the attacks of September 11th. Oh my God, people did die. We will never recover from this. Will we? Yep, we did. How about this? I was in the Chicago Board of Trade. I was in the Chicago Board Options Exchange. They're joined. I was at the volatility index pit when it hit 95. Is that a lot? Well, I'll show you the VIX in a minute here. The volatility index. We're all going to die. The global financial crisis. Do you remember Occupy Wall Street? I do. Trying to get into the Board of Trade through protesters. In hindsight, those people had a point. Let me get this straight, George Bush, the cokehead, not the naval aviator, sitting in the office playing with his G.I. Joe toys. Hank Paulson from Goldman Sachs, the Treasury Secretary. Mr. President, we have to bail out Wall Street or everybody's going to die. Oh my God, I'll listen to you. The government got involved to save capitalism, didn't they? I said, let it burn. Let it burn. From the ashes will rise a phoenix. Nope. The government stepped in and bailed out AIG, Goldman Sachs, all the blue bloods. Nobody went to jail for this financial crisis, and a lot of people should. But here's what I'm rambling about. We're all going to die. Did we, though? Holy crap. Rip your face. This is all, but between us ladies, this is all bullshit. Everything on your screen is bullshit, especially this rally. Even if you're new to investing, you might have heard these terms. QE1. What's QE? The ship? No, it's called quantitative easing. What's that mean? Well, the Federal Reserve is just going to print money out of thin air. What do you mean? They can do that? Of course. You can't? No. They'll just hit enter on their computer and print money out of thin air and make equities go straight up. Can you take part in that? Well, we do as TOPGUN Options. But yeah, this is all bullshit until, oh my God, we're all going to die. Right here, folks, TOPGUN Options members made $2.5 million in about as many weeks, about 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks. That was the COVID crash. Wrote a book about it. Get it on Amazon. I'll autograph it for you. We printed money as the market imploded. If you watch CNBC or Fox Business News during the COVID crash, do you remember all the legendary investors, Kyle Bass or Bill Ackman or whoever? The one guy who was crying on CNBC. The exchanges need to shut down. Let everything just shut. No. That's not what markets do, you jackwad. Just because you have bullish trades on, I'm on the other side of your bullish trades and I'm pounding you into the dirt. Donald Trump, famous tweet that he deleted that I have a screenshot of in my book. Stocks are looking good here. I'd be a buyer of stocks. Nobody knows stocks better than me, believe me. The next day, the Dow went down 3,000 points at the open. I made $75,000 in minutes. Thank you, Mr. President. So we're all going to die. Nope. We're all going to die. Nope. How about now? Yes. Yes, Wiz. Donald Trump, part deux, is going to get us all killed. The markets are going to go to zero. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. I was going to say, does anybody believe that? Clearly, there are people who believe that. So last week, and this is a great quote, I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing. but the results are going to be 20 times greater. So you, not me, I've already made my choice. You have a choice. He's either, and I'm not even going to say telling the truth because, oh, Donald Trump lies. This is either going to happen. Take the man out of it. This is either going to happen. We're going to get our fiscal house in order and we're going to explode upward, or it's going to fail. But ladies and gentlemen, to steal a, what's his name? Gordon Gekko, money never sleeps, pal. Ladies and gentlemen, money flows places. If you're a hedge fund manager, if you're Goldman Sachs, if you run a family office, if you're a large investor, you're not putting your money in a Folgers can and hiding it in the yard. And yeah, I'm old enough to remember what a Folgers can is. Markets adapt. What's his name? Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, right? Life finds a way. It adapts, it evolves. It's a bad Jeff Goldblum impression, but here's what I'm getting at, folks, is money will figure it out. Markets adapt. The initial kick in the gut, gonna hurt a little bit, but there is absolute opportunity where we are right now. And I wanted to start with this. This is a target-rich environment. Everything you're going to learn for the next couple days, if you disagree with what I'm saying, you can do the exact opposite trades. I started this brief with a poll, and I didn't agree with the majority of the poll. Welcome to the market. So as I'm mapping out trades and tactics and showing you what I'm going to do, if you sit there and look at the screen and go, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Awesome. Do the exact opposite. And I'm going to show this to you. So, and let me show you this real quick. Let's go. I don't know why I can't end and show. Here we go. Let's go show you the S&P 500 real quick. This is, I'm going to show you 2 years ago to prove to you that this is all bullshit. Right here in December of 2023, right there, folks, look at that flat ledge. What was that? Right here, Jerome Powell, who's the Federal Reserve chief, responsible for inflation, price stability, and at full employment. He fails miserably at both of those, but that's a separate conversation. Right there where that yellow is, folks, Jerome Powell said, you know what? I think we're going to cut interest rates next year. I'm going to hit you throughout the week. You better have a pad, a pen of paper, a pad and a pen, or something to write with, because I'm going to hit you with wizisms. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. I'm a political science major from South Jersey, folks. I need easy things. Interest rates are low, stocks will grow. Interest rates are high, stocks will die. So when this man, the Federal Reserve chief in December of 23 said, might be thinking about sort of kind of cutting rates next year, what happened? A rip your face off rally. When did this man actually end up cutting interest rates? In September, right before the November election. What? The Federal Reserve, who claims to be apolitical, cut 50 basis points, not 25, 50 basis points in front of the election. We can talk about that, separate conversation as well. Didn't help Kamala, did it? Which actually caused inflation to tick up a little bit more. But what I'm getting at, folks, is this market went up on the hopes of a rate cut. Now, what is going on right here? Donald Trump, I voted for this man, and my portfolio ain't exactly hitting it out of the park, but it's not losing money like people are getting destroyed. I just told you I am 16-1 on S&P 500 trades. My long-term bullish Amazon positions, my psychedelics, my JP Morgan, they're getting a little hammered. They're 3 years, 2 years out into the future trades. Who gives a shit? That's why we trade what we call the front months. But let's look at the circulatory system real quick. What do you mean by that? That green line is the 20-day moving average. This is the S&P 500. The blue line is the 50-day moving average. And then I haven't used this in my career that often. The 300-day moving average is all the way down there in red. We got a solid bounce last week off of the 300-day moving average. As you can see, so these are trenches. This is World War I trench warfare. Nothing lives in the trench between trenches, man. You're going to get killed. Markets don't like living in here. They react violently to hit a moving average or violently to get pulled back up to one. You can see it in here with these moving averages. Okay. So this is an unbelievable opportunity, and we're going to talk about all of this stuff. But I wanted to get a level set of where we are. Okay. Excuse me, real quick. Let me give you my mission objective for the next 3-4 days. I'm going to give you up-to-date intelligence briefs. I'm going to treat you like you're a regular TGO member, and we have a lot to talk about. So I got to cruise. By Thursday, if I do a Thursday brief, you're going to know how to trade options. It ain't rocket surgery. Wiz, I don't even know how to trade stocks. You don't necessarily have to know how to trade stocks to get to options, but it helps, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you how to turn panic into profit. Do you understand this? And I remind my TGO members constantly. First of all, you can't make money if you're losing money. Well, duh. No, not duh. Think about that. You have got to manage your risk. Before we place any trade this week, we're going to look at before we even squeeze the trigger to fire a trade, we know when we're exiting for maximum profit or minimum loss, right? But it's all about managing your risk. So that sentence makes a lot more sense when I say it like that. You can't make money if you're losing money. We will focus on risk management. Flight schedule is right now. We're in the welcome aboard and some investing basics. And I'm actually going to open memberships today, period. And I'm going to get this out of the way at the beginning so I can focus on the trading for the rest of our time together. Tuesday, we're going to talk about some spreads. We might get into that a little bit today. Wiz, I have no idea what a spread is. Yeah, you are. You're going to know what it is. We'll do some synthetic stock, 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., we usually have our accelerated retirement brief. I got a big lunch with some potential. I got a big lunch Wednesday morning here in Boca. It starts at 10. Talk about a lunch that I have got to go to. If we are not full, if we don't have 50 new members, I'll do the Thursday solo Amazon brief at 1. If we get full, and we usually occasionally do, I'm not doing it. I'm done giving away stuff for free. Most people charge for a couple days of access to their services. I don't. I just open up the doors to our regular briefs and let you walk around the squadron. So real quick, before we get airborne, what do you need to trade successfully? Well, this is what I needed to trade successfully. You need to be trained. For all the folks that said, I'm new to investing, or I'm new to stocks, or I'm new to options, welcome aboard, man. You need a building block approach. What does that mean? When I showed up to Naval Air Station Pensacola in Florida, there was a kid who had flown from Montana. His first flight on an airplane, or seeing an airplane, was like 2 flight school. 6 months later, he was flying a jet. How? Building block approach. This is an airplane. These are wings. This is a motor. That's weather. Building block approach. We have something called Options Weapons School. 6 sessions, hour and a half each, where you're going to get up to speed. Period. Takes a building block approach. This is the market. This is a call. This is a put. One step at a time. How do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? All right, man, I got my training. What else do I need to trade successfully? You need a plan. Everybody go look on the control panel over here. It says materials or handouts. I'm sorry. It says handouts. You should have gotten the OPCL, the Options Pocket Checklist, when you opted in to these briefs. If you didn't, there it is again. Download it. You have a 7-step trade plan. And you also have a combat trade plan. Everybody go look at the materials, okay? And go pull them up. Okay, let me go with the blank here. Hey, wrong one. Let me go get a different one. It is, where is it? 7-step trade plan, combat trade plan. Right here. So as we go through different trades, download this. This is yours to keep, obviously. We're going to go through this. You need a plan. 7-step plan. This is how you trade. If you do not trade with a plan, I have no idea what you're doing. You're going to fail. Okay? So there is your trade plan. I gave you it for free. Okay? And we're going to step through this all week. So you need training, you need a plan, you need a practical application, folks. All right, Wiz, I'm trained. I got my 7-step plan. Now what do I do? Now what do is you come to your live briefs. This is what we do. You got your training, I got my plan, and I'm listening to Wiz Monday through Wednesday in his live trade briefs from 10 to about 11, 11:30, depends on what's going on. 10 to 10:30, 10 to, who cares? When I'm done, I'm done. If I got to go long, I go long. If I don't, I don't. So practical application. How do you know what I need to be successful? Folks, I went from a lowly young lieutenant teaching myself. Before Al Gore invented the internet, folks, I had to go to the base library, check out books on stocks. And yeah, they're called books and options. Imagine reading, Macmillan on options, like a phone book. I needed what I built. If I had Top Gun options when I was starting, Elon Musk would be working for me. I mean, it's just insane. So I'm going to teach you all of this. And I went from that lowly kid to running essentially a $2.5 billion options firm in Chicago in the Board of Trade. Literally, Valentine and Trading Places. Okay, so this is what our universe looks like at Top Gun options. In the training side of the fence, this is what you need to do. For all the new folks, Wiz, what's a stock? What's an option? I'm new to investing. Open a brokerage account. Okay, let me take 2 minutes on this. I use E-Trade. If I'm going to teach you how to fly and fight a fighter jet, it would probably help to fly the same as the instructor. He's flying an F-18. I'll fly an F-18. Great. Some of you, Thinkorswim, Ameritrade, Schwab, a Tradier, I don't care. But if you're new, maybe E-Trade. I think it's great. You're going to see me using E-Trade all week. I don't get paid by them. That's not a plug. It's just, it's where I've been for a very long time. Make sure they have what's called virtual or paper trading. With E-Trade, they're going to throw you $100,000 monopoly money. This is the simulator building. When I went to Pensacola and I learned that's a plane, that's a wing, that's an engine, that's weather, I didn't run out to an airplane. I ran over to the, say it with me, simulator building. I went and sat in the simulator building. I did my startups, my emergencies. I flew, I landed. I did everything in the simulator before I ever got near an airplane. Okay, so open a brokerage account with at least a virtual or paper trading. You should never put any of your hard-earned money at risk until you know what you're doing. That might sound stupid, but it isn't. Some of you aren't listening. Do not trade with real money until you know what you're doing. How will I know? You will know. I won't know. There's 190 people in here right now. I don't know when each one of you will be ready to trade. That's a gut. I've been paper trading for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, feeling good. Awesome. Been doing it for a month. Been doing it for a day. Awesome. I don't need paper trading. Awesome. You're going to hear this a couple times this week. You're the tick. You are the trader in command. You sign for your portfolio, just like when I went flying in the Hornet as the pilot in command, the PIC. You need to sign for your jet, not me. So in the training, we have Solo Amazon. It's not part of Full Throttle. It's called Solo Amazon for a reason. It's its own separate service, $97 a month. We also have Full Throttle. You are in Full Throttle this week. If we have some memberships, that's what I might do on Thursday, is do a Solo Amazon brief if you want to try that service out. But Full Throttle is where we're focused this week. Once you get trained and things are going well, jump over the fence. We have a couple investment clubs. One is called the Hunters. We have an app on the phone. All my trades are blasted out there instantaneously. We chat back and forth. You can ask me questions. It's called the Hunters and Max Afterburner. That's the lifetime membership that's down the road. It's a higher investment. It's a select group of folks. But those are the execution arms once you kind of know what you're doing. So underneath the training, we'd already talked about solo. Underneath Full Throttle, you got 6 options weapon school sessions. Okay, already told you about those. And then these live trade briefs. What's a normal week look like here at Top Gun Options? Well, real quick, sorry, that's Options Weapon School. It's 6 sessions. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know where there's 2 number 5s. That is session 6. This is the building block approach that I told you about. Investing basics, trade planning, basics of calls and puts, blah, 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 blah. This is a building block approach. If you have no idea what you're doing, you start here. If you're a Jedi Master, you start here, right? Also in my first class at Pensacola, besides the guy who had never seen an airplane before, was a guy who had about 6,000 hours flying Learjets. Corporate pilot, I want to go be a fighter pilot. I saw Top Gun. The guy almost washed out within the first month. Why? Bad habits. Well, I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. This is how the Navy wants you to fly a jet. Well, that's not how I did it for 6,000 hours. Okay, you say that again, you're out, right? So even if you think you're good, I'll make you better, I guarantee you, okay? So Options Weapon School. And then this is what a normal week looks like. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m., we do the primary live trade brief. And every Wednesday at 10 a.m., we do AR, Accelerated Retirement. Longer dated trades into the future. Primaries, a little bit of both. Longer dated trades, weekly trades, day trades. And then Solo Amazon is Mondays at 10 a.m. So technically, everyone in here right now is in a Solo Amazon member brief. But since we're doing Full Throttle, I'm going to boot that to Thursday at 1. Okay. Real quick, our methodology, and I'm 2 minutes over before we need to start trading, is this. Again, not rocket surgery, folks. This is how you need to not trade, right? Many of you, even if you don't know what you're doing, I'm going to break you of it today, are very tactical traders. What do I mean by that? You woke up today, bunny slippers on, cup of coffee, let me watch CNBC and see what to trade or to invest in. Wrong. Or you don't even know what you're doing for lunch today, let alone what to invest years into the future. That's very tactical trading. You'll burn out or you'll blow out your portfolio. You cannot be a tactical trader. At TGO, what do? We are it's called SOT, Strategic, Operational, Tactical. What do I mean? Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I'm going to give you a 5, 10, 15-minute global economic, political, and military brief. You have got to know what's going on around the globe clearly, right? If you woke up today and you're like, oh my God, why is my Tesla down 50% in a month? Have you not been paying attention to what's going on around the world and trade and everything like that? Oh man, SOT. After we pick up our binoculars and look around the globe, I mean, hell, we're pounding Houthi positions, not the blowfish, just the Houthis, because they're a bunch of fucking Muslim pirates keeping the Red Sea closed. We're steamrolling those people into the dirt. You got to know about these things, right? Then we peel back the onion and go one layer deep, operational level. What's that mean? Here, what's going on domestically? Economic, political, you name it. Friday, I'm stunned, Chuck Schumer. They avoided a government shutdown. You know things are bad when Chuck Schumer, who was it? Rahm Emanuel, never let a good crisis go to waste. Whatever Democrat said that. Chuck Schumer can read the battlefield right now. He's like, we're in a pretty bad place and a government shutdown is going to get pinned on on us this time. Whoa. So what's going on what's going on with earnings? What's going on with the Fed? What's going on with interest rates? We had retail sales come out this morning. Then we look at operational, what's going on. After we do strategic, after we get operational, then and only then can we get tactical and trade. I think we have a really good group signed up because nobody yet has done the when do we start trading question. I usually throw those people out because they're tactical traders and I really don't want those people as members anyway. If you're itching to trade, you're doing it wrong, man. You need a brief, okay? Already alluded to this. We're going to go through this throughout the week. 7-step trade plan. I gave it to you. It's in the handouts tab over there, okay? When we go to trade, you pull out a checklist. This is why military folks or aviators tend to be very good traders. Why? Give me a checklist. Give me a plan. If something does this, I do that. If it hits this, I do that. It takes the emotion out of trading. Sadly, folks, 90% of trading is emotional. This will take that out. If you want to be in a hedge fund, you're an idiot. Look at the past 5 years-ish of performance. I need to update this since we're in 2025. 10% return, 11%, 10%, 8%, 9%. Wow. That's pretty good, isn't it? No, that sucks. This is my brokerage. Oops, my brokerage account recently, 151% return. The Dow, 9. I'll round up, 10. 39 for the NASDAQ, 20 for the S&P. Yay, whiz, 150%. Pretty damn good, folks. And we do better in volatile markets. Okay. All right. So let me, and I want to throw this out here now so we can start doing our SOT and you can know whether to stay or leave. Okay. The investment to get airborne in full throttle is $29.95 a year. Okay. Based on 2 S&P trades last year that were expired for max profit. I did a sniper shot on Friday, beauty trade, made $2,200 in about an hour and a half, almost a full year of your full throttle membership with a single trade on Friday. Okay, so $29.95, all the stuff you get. Okay, why am I briefing this now instead of at the end of the brief? Because if this isn't okay, don't waste your time with me. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. This is the tire kicker. It's $295 a month if you want to keep kicking the tires. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, this is where about 85% of TGO members are, unless they're in lifetime, is an annual membership. You can do this for a bunch of months and then email us and say, hey, I want to upgrade into the annual to save money. Okay. This right here, the monthly, does not get you access to the hunters. This does. This gives you access to the hunters monthly. Okay. What is that? Well, let me go show you real quick. That is one of our investment clubs. Okay. The $295 is for, hey, I'm going to kind of paper trade and hang out and figure out what I'm doing here. The hunters is this. You have an app on your phone, our TOPGUN options app. Okay. So we have a couple threads in the hunters, intel and commentary. This is where we post our intel, commentary, ask me questions, ask you questions. Then we have a trade alerts thread. Right there. I told you, man. Woo. Look at that. Bob got 100% profit, man. I was out for a 75% profit in a couple hours. Like I said, $2,200 on Friday as the market was ripping around. But so we have a couple threads, intel and commentary, where I post my intel that I'm hearing from people, articles, other people post their intel. And then this is the trade alerts only thread. We have 2 threads because some people are like, I don't want to hear all the intel and commentary crap. I just tell me when you're trading something, Wiz. Okay, great. And when you see this, when I at everyone, when I post, I post all of my opening and closing trades in here. When I hit at everyone, all 258 hunters members get an alert, ding, on your cell phone. So you can be sitting in death by meeting. You can, be getting your teeth drilled, and you're going to know when I am trading. Okay. Opening, closing trades at all times. Okay. So paste that real quick. So you want to be in the hunters eventually. You might not want to do it right now. Let me still kind of figure some stuff out with, but this is the way to go. The annual membership is the way to go, period. Maybe today we'll actually do a trade that might pay for that. Okay. But I want to tell you about the investment now so you're not blindsided down the road. If you want to kick the tires for the hunters for a couple months, great. But technically, this is a 50% discount if you just do that for 12 months. As a businessman, I'd love for you to be in the monthly hunters at $497 for a year. That's a jerk move. Yeah, that's why we do a discounted annual. That's the tire kicker, folks. All right, now we're done. Now let's do what you came here to do, man, and get airborne. All right, like I said, I'm going to teach or treat like you're a current TGO member. So let's get started. All right, let's just actually pretend that too. All right, folks, good morning. Let's get airborne. The Roosevelt is pounding as we're speaking. Houthi positions. Wiz, I thought you're a pacifist now. I am in certain cases. I could give a shit about Israel and Palestine. They've been fighting for centuries. They'll continue to fight for centuries. Not our monkeys, not our circus. What about Russia and Ukraine? Civil war in Eastern Europe? Have at it. What about the Houthis? They're attacking shipping. They're pirates that are shutting down trade. If you have to go around the Horn of Africa, it adds 30 to 40% to the voyage, which costs the shippers who pass that on to who? Oh, wait, you mean the shipping companies just don't suck up those costs? No. So this has been a little known story, folks. One of the other reasons inflation has been going up is because you're paying out the ass for ships to take a different route. Any country who's going to shut down international shipping wearing sandals in Toyota trucks is a pirate, and they deserve to die. So I am a pacifist until I can't be a pacifist much longer, and then it will be a violent and horrific experience for who's on the other side of this. So this is a good thing. Let me delete that. War is never a good thing. This is the appropriate thing for this. Pound these guys into the dirt. They are Iran proxies. I'm old enough to remember Joe Biden removing the Houthis from the terror list. Yemen and these Houthis were designated for a long time. Obama, Bush, they are Iranian proxies. They attack Saudi Arabia. They attack shipping. Joe Biden, we're going to remove them from the terror list to try and suck up to Iran. How'd that work out, Joe? So this is good, and it will help the markets eventually. Okay, what else is going on around the world? The fact that Donald Trump, and again, guys, I don't care. You see the guy's face, it makes you want to vomit, and you freak out. You got problems. Or you love him, great. For 3 years, 3.5 years, if you mention the word peace, I mention the word peace. The Pope, Elon Musk, Wiz, whenever I said the P word, I was accused of being what? A Russian sympathizer, a Putin plant. What? Are you shitting me? I think the man's a war criminal. He should be arrested, tried, and if found guilty, executed. That's some Putin plant. That's some Russian sympathizer. Peace, folks. Stop killing each other. Take a break, man. Go to opposite sides of the room and sit there. Let's figure something out. If you can't, go back to killing each other. Have at it. Not our monkey, not our circus. But God forbid you actually mention, can we stop killing each other? Most of you know my personal story. I did psychedelic assisted therapy 4 years ago. I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary. I was a meat-eating killer. Do you know how many meat-eating, knuckle-dragging killers have turned into the exact opposite? We are nothing but the same cosmic stardust, separated by borders, separated by politics. It's a disgrace. Why am I rambling about this? Because guess what? If there's some sort of, let's stop killing each other for 30 days. Wow. A lot of volatility, a lot of instability is going on because of this war. And I have a lot of best friends, man, who are part of the MIC, right? Happy St. Patrick's Day, speaking of MICs, the military industrial complex. Whiz, and they tongue in cheek, like, hey, man, peace ain't going to be good for our business. That's gross. The military, God bless General. I call him General. He was president, but he probably loved being a general more than president. Remember his farewell speech? Beware of the military industrial complex. He saw it. We were a sleeping giant, to quote Admiral Yamamoto. Admiral Yamamoto, what? Went to Harvard? He knew America. He's like, man, we fucked up. We bombed Pearl Harbor before we formally told them, oh, we're in trouble. We were a sleeping giant, and in the blink of an eye, industry in this country exploded. We got to make Jeeps, bombers, ships. Man, printing money, defense companies. War's over with. Oh, well, now what do we do? Oh, there's a boogeyman in North Korea. Now there's a boogeyman in Vietnam. Now there's a boogeyman in Saddam. Now that I can go on. The MIC, and I'm not a hypocrite because I tell you this stuff. We're invested in Raytheon. We'll talk about Raytheon, but ladies and gentlemen, this would be a good thing. People ain't going to stop killing them. What's the saying? Only the dead have seen the end of war. People ain't going to stop killing each other. So I'm not too worried about the MIC. They know where their next meal is coming from. The week the smart money got whipsawed by the market. And going forward, I need to, I'm going to cover this in my Top Gun options brief with my team this afternoon. We should be in go to training instead of go to webinar right now, so you could all see each other's comments. Because I want to ask current members, how'd you do last week with our S&P 500 trades? Ain't nobody got whipsawed at Top Gun options. So one more time, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these idiots aren't necessarily the smart money. We are. Ken Griffin at Citadel took it in the Jimmy pretty significantly over the past couple weeks, man. Wall Street's biggest and most successful traders, hedge funds that run billions of dollars, often thrive on volatility. Yeah, they floundered like everyone else and helped drive stocks further down. Oh, really? Pretty funny when you see the smart money getting their ass handed to them, folks. How Wall Street and business got Trump wrong. What? They thought the second term would be his first, giving priority to economic growth in the stock market. He had other ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, we have experienced short-term pain. But this was short-term pain if you weren't trading like we were trading. This was short-term profit for us at TGO. Now, once the pain is over with, ladies and gentlemen, big things are going to happen. And again, where's the, this is what I wanted to show you. Look at this, CNBC this morning, and they can't stand Donald Trump. 47% approve. That is a personal best for Donald Trump. It's his highest ever. So when you see people wanking about the stock market and, oh my God, we're all going to die, who's it coming from? Well, how about some of these people? The Hamptons crowd isn't too happy with this. They're used to Jerome Powell printing money out of thin air and equities going up and to the right. I showed you the chart at the beginning of this brief. The Treasury Secretary said this. I love this guy. Not worried by a slide in stocks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is opposite Trump. His first term, the guy was tweeting about the damn stock market. Stocks are looking good. I'd be a buyer of stocks. Hasn't said a word about, no, he has said a couple words about the market. I'm not looking at the market. I really don't give a shit. Wow. And this guy got it wrong. I'm like, he's a narcissist. He's not going to want to be responsible for a market implosion. You were wrong, Wiz. I'm the first one to say when I'm wrong. But I love, say it with me, I love being wrong and making money. Best sent. The Treasury Secretary. Really don't give a shit about the stock market, folks. Wow. The statement caused some alarm for who? Oh, Wall Street types who've been living off of bullshit, off of us, who had been counting on the Treasury Secretary to be the second Trump administration's voice of reason. I love when he get nominated. When Scott got nominated and the market went, oh, yay, we have an adult with Trump. It's like, no, I agree with the dude. This is going to suck, but guess what? Once the suck is over, embrace the suck, right? That's a military saying. So, but we're starting to see, not starting to see, especially the Wall Street Journal, doom and gloom. Consumers and businesses send distress signal as economic fear sets in. But what happened last week, folks? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Man, they're running together. Inflation cooled. 3% last month, forecasted to come in 2 months ago, 2.9. It came in at what? 2.8. Oh, inflation might have topped out and is finally coming back. Does anybody know what happened to the price of eggs in the last report? Down nearly 30%. It's really weird. I was going through X this morning looking for all the Democrats frothing at the mouth about the price of eggs. They've moved on because eggs have imploded. Donald Trump, with the stroke of a pen, said, yeah, we're not killing or doing all the shit Biden was doing. Okay. Wall Street fears Trump will wreck the soft landing. Folks, I hate the aviation analogies that the Fed uses because they're full of shit. They don't know anything about aviation. We've crashed about 90 times. And this time, a new pilot is getting on the airplane. Going to be bumpy, but I know what I'm doing. Will there be a Trump recession? I'm old enough to remember Democrats changing the definition of the word recession. Do you remember this? What's the definition, Wiz? Well, I don't know what the current one is because it used to be 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP growth. What do you mean they changed it? Well, that happened to Biden and Kamala and Sideshow Bob, the press secretary, and all the Democrats said what? No, we're not in a recession. That's the accepted definition of it. Well, we changed it. Like we changed the definition of woman and we've changed the definition of transitory. Remember that? Inflation's transitory, Wiz. I don't know what your definition of transitory is, but we're going on 2 years. Well, now transitory is 2 years then. Okay, great. Will there be a Trump recession? I don't know, and I don't care because I'm going to make money during it. Consumers keep bailing out the economy. They might be maxed out. Okay, well, we will see. Yeah, Rick, I got to add that one to my forte. Thank you, Rick. And they changed the definition of vaccine. Joe Biden. Hey, all you unvaccinated people are murderers. You're killing people. It's going to be a dark winter. You're all evil. You get the vaccine, you can't get COVID, and you can't transmit it. Both of those are a lie. Oh, Dr. Fauci, where did the 6 feet of separation come from? I don't know. We just made it up. Okay, trust the science. We just made that bullshit up. Can't stand any of these people. All right, what's the flight schedule for the week? I already told you at the beginning of the brief, we got retail sales that were a little soft. Not super soft, but they were soft. Anything big this week? What's tomorrow? I'm looking at a site called Forex Factory. This is the calendar. We get so we get some housing stuff this week. Wednesday. Ooh, this is a big one. We get the Fed funds rate. So we got a big meeting this week, folks. Got the Fed, FOMC statement, and a press conference. Thursday, Wednesday afternoon, folks, I'm going to be sitting here eating popcorn. You know what? Wednesday afternoon, we are going to have a brief at 1 o'clock. I'm not doing for an hour and a half, though, so never mind. But that's why you want to join, because I will be over here trading and commentating in the Hunters and the Max Afterburner. That's our lifetime group right over here, folks. 212 members in our lifetime. So big massive day Wednesday. Interest rates, we're going to get an interest rate decision and his press conference. Okay. Why is that going to be important? What else? Thursday, nothing. I don't care about anything but the Fed statement, press conference. I'm sorry, right here, Jerome Powell. Why? Because of the trade war, man. Jerome Powell is going to be walking on eggshells. What do you think of Donald Trump and the trade war, and how's that impacting? And he's supposed to be apolitical, isn't he? But the Fed recently, he's done this a couple times. Like, hey, you know, inflation might be really uncertain right now because of what Trump might do in the future. Not what's going on right now, but what Trump might do in the future. Okay, now we're done. That was strategic. That was operational. Now we get tactical. Like I said, we're technically in a solo Amazon brief, but I can punt that to the end of the week. Why? Because I think we got a rally. How do you know when the market bottoms out? You know, when you look backwards at it. Is this a short-term bottom? You know, I think that's still the 300-day, right? Let's put up the 200-day moving average of the S&P 500. Now, for those of folks that are hanging here going, man, I'm barely hanging by the blades, stick with me. Now, the 300-day was down here. Let me just kind of pretend to draw it. It looks like we're having what? A violent move whiz back up to the 200. I'd say that's a pretty strong bet. Okay. The S&P is kind of hanging right now. Let's go look tactically at this. So this is what we're looking at right now. That was Friday right there. Nice rally into the close on Friday. I just showed you the trade I placed on Friday that I got out for 75% profit. A lot of people got out for stayed in it. A little bit of a nail biter up there for a max profit. Okay. Let me lead with this. With the Fed press conference on Wednesday, a lot of potential volatility. Speaking of volatility, let's go look at that. For everybody who's new, when you hear me talk about vol, it's not volume, it's volatility. Look at the volatility index. This is called the VIX, right? You can delete, unless you want to sound cool at a cocktail party, you can call it volatility. It's uncertainty. Whenever the market faces something, oh my God, what the hell just happened? It spikes. And then it goes down. It's a heart rate monitor. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Okay, everything's calm. Beep, beep, beep. Oh my God. You see these? These are all little freakouts. See these? But what happens after, whoa, we're all going to die? No, we're not. Look at this one. This one, folks, is a gentle climb. It wasn't like an, oh my God, we're all going to die. This was a kind of a rolling train wreck with Donald Trump. Remember what the president said, April 2nd. We now have a date. He said April 2nd is when I'm going to decide about the tariff. So we have some breathing room here. Here's another wizism I need you to write down on whatever you're writing with. When volatility is cheap, buy it. When it's expensive, sell it. This is free money on your screen. Oh my God, we're going to die. No, we're not. You could have gotten bullish on volatility, and when it peaks out, you get bearish. One more time, I'll say it. When volatility is cheap, down here, buy it. Doesn't that make sense? When something's cheap, buy it. Right. When it's expensive, yay, I can sell it. Sell it. So how do I know the market's going to rally or we found a bottom? I don't know, but we are fading. In a fighter jet, folks, you look at different instruments, right? This is a main instrument in my cockpit to determine if we kind of hit a short-term bottom. It is right there. Volatility, the freakout index is like, all right. And remember, here's another brilliant wizism. Once something is known, it's known. What? Meaning, once the freakout happens, we can actually implode on volatility if the trade wars get worse. Why? We know it. right? I'll never forget, I made 22 grand being wrong on the Brexit vote. The VIX climbed into the Brexit vote. Oh my God, they might leave. Britain leave the EU or whatever it's called. I made 11 grand going up on volatility, on uncertainty. As soon as the vote came out and they voted to leave, idiots would have thought, oh my God, the VIX will keep going up because they're leaving. It imploded. And I did the exact opposite trade, and it also made 11 grand. I was wrong. I thought they'd stay. But anyway, why? Because it was known. The vote's over with, dude. The market goes on to the next thing. It doesn't keep, whoa, they're leaving. Done. What's next? Okay. So quick little lesson in volatility. We can dig more into that, but I'm walking towards step 3 of a trade plan right here, commit criteria. I think we have found a short-term bottom. So I like trading SPX. It's the S&P 500. Some of you, even if you're new to investing, maybe you've heard of this, the SPY. That's the spider. What's spider? It's a company. It's a firm. They have something called an ETF, an exchange traded fund. Okay. So this is an ETF. Okay. I don't trade SPY. Why? I trade SPX. Why? And as you can see with all my lines in there, why do I trade SPX? You get better tax treatment. This is the actual index. This is, up at the exchange. This is the physical index. An ETF, SPY, is a derivative of that thing. You get better tax treatment trading SPX. I've had people write me around tax time like, dude, you saved me 12 grand this year. But I was an SPY trader. I did not know that. So you're welcome. If you don't understand that, you will eventually someday. You got it, Paul. And the S&P 500 index, SPX, settles in cash. What we're going to talk about right now are options, okay? So an options contract is literally that. It's a contract, right? The S&P 500, in case you don't know, why is it called the 500? It's got 500 stocks in it. There's the Russell 2000, which is a lot of mid-sized company. How many stocks are in that, Wiz? 2,000. There's the Dow Jones Industrial. I don't even know. I don't care. The Dow's for old people. I think 33. I don't know how many names are in the Dow. I've been trading the S&P 500 for 34, 35 years, folks. So I trade SPX. But what I want to do is start building a trade out to Friday. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is on my screen right here. It says March 25th. So at the top here, folks, if you're new to options, these are what's called expirations. An options contract, an agreement, has a date and it's got a price. Just about everybody in this room has dealt with a contract. House, car, whatever option. It's got a date, it's got a price, right? That's what an options contract is. So Dow 30, there we go. I thought it was 30 in there. So what I want to do, let's go back to this chart. I think we found a short-term bottom in here, and I think we're probably going to get it's called a relief rally, folks. This is what we call oversold. We were way overbought. And here's another wizism, folks. Markets take the escalator up and they take the window down. Okay. We took the window down, but things don't go down forever. They don't go up forever and they don't go down forever. Okay. So I'm looking at the chart right here. Now I'm going to move a little quicker because I went late, but here's real quick how I start placing my trades. Right now, the S&P 500 is priced at about 56.45. Okay. Right in the middle here are what are called strikes. These are prices on the S&P 500. So out to Friday, I'm going to look at something that's called at the money volatility. So just allow me to round up 45 because there's a 56.45 strike. And like I said, I'm going to move just a little quick because I'm going to sell what's called the at the money straddle. I don't like throwing darts or guessing. Based on current options pricing around the world and the US, the current price for the S&P 500 at the front, you see this Elizabeth Warren TP over here? That's green. The options market is saying with a high degree of probability that let me write this down, the S&P is going to top out by Friday at, what's that say, 57.50 and 55.40. Okay. That's how wide the at the money straddle is. Wiz, I have no idea what the at the money straddle, any of that means. Just hang for a second. Let me close this chart a little bit. Let's go 6 months. And what's the top? 57.50. I'm just going to draw a couple lines here. So not Wiz, the option. Oh, look at this. The current 200-day moving average is 57.41. So the S&P 500 right now is saying we could get back. Look at me, I'm awesome. By Friday, or what's the bottom? 55.40 down here. So the options market price right now, this is the at the money straddle. It says it's going to stay in between these two areas. Okay. Now, with Jerome Powell speaking on Wednesday, that's going to result he's going to say something that the market is moving at. I am inclined, I feel that I think we're going to get a rally up here. But Jerome Powell, folks, first of all, don't like Donald Trump. I already predicted months ago Donald Trump will fire Jerome Powell. I don't know when, and he'll probably do it with a tweet. So Sam, you're wrong, right? Let's talk through that real quick. So ladies and gentlemen, March on my brokerage platform, folks, where it says March 25th, options expire the third Friday of the month. 1, 2, 3. The third Friday of March is March 21st. On my brokerage platform, that's indicated by March 25, meaning March of 2025, folks. That's not saying the 25th day. If you look, Sam, March 25 expiration is right there. Okay. That's options basics. Okay. So let's keep going here, folks. So there are two different ways to attack a trade out to Friday. Even though I think we got a good turn here and we could just rip higher, Wednesday is a big day. Jerome Powell could be saying some stuff that ain't too bullish. The uncertainty around trade and the president's policies are really clouding the picture and blah, blah. Ooh. So we could do a tactic called an iron condor. You got it, Scott. Great minds think alike. What does that mean? And again, session 5 of Options Weapons School is an iron condor. It is a range-bound trade. I'm going to put a roof on the market and I'm going to put a basement. The S&P can rip around all week as long as it doesn't blow through my roof or conversely go through the basement. But based on the increased uncertainty in the market, doing a nice wide iron condor can result in some really nice profit. So let's go ahead and start building this. Okay. All right. So what's my strikes again? Let's go with the basement is 57.50. I'm sorry, 55.40. 55.40. Here we go. So I'm going to go to 55.50 just to see if there's premium. 55.50, 55. Perfect. And I'm just going to do one contract for now so everybody can see. So folks, again, if you're new to options or investing, just stay with me, hang, because I'll talk you through this. I'm going to sell for now just one options contract of the Friday, which is on my E-Trade platform, 25, 550, 5550 put. That's me. This is the basement, folks. This is me saying I don't think the S&P is going below 5550 by Friday. Wiz, what if you're wrong? Jerome Powell spooks the markets on Wednesday and we implode. Well, that's why we're not selling just this put, because that would be called a naked put. We are buying a lower strike put at 55.45. Okay. With one options contract, folks, we are risking 385 bucks to potentially make 115. Using at the money volatility in these options, there is a 79% probability of making a max profit. Okay. Now let's go back here, $1.20. Political science major from South Jersey, folks. Let's talk about the bad in this trade. $1.20, double that, 240. Write that down on your trade plan that you downloaded. 240, ladies and gentlemen, is where I would maybe eject and get out of this trade. If the S&P starts going down, the value of this trade increases, which is not good. We don't want it to increase. We want it to go the other direction. So I haven't even placed this trade yet, and I'm telling you, I'd probably get out if it goes up to 220. Just double the credit you take in. In this type of tactic that I'm going to teach you, you double the credit you take in. That is where you would maybe eject. Okay. Now, haven't even placed this trade yet. I'm going to tell you 7, 8, 9. If you're looking at a 70, 80, or 90% profit on the credit you took in, close it. Do not try and squeeze a little bit out of here and try and get the max profit. Do not turn a 70, 80, or 90% winning trade into a 100% loser. Okay? Haven't placed the trade. I know when I'm exiting for max profit or minimum loss. Period. Okay? On your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is a tactic we called a bull put spread. I'm neutral to bullish on the market. I don't think it's going to implode down that far. I'm using puts, which we'll learn about, and the strikes are spread apart. That's why it's called a bull put spread. This is the basement. Let's go add the roof. The roof was 57.50 when I looked at the money straddle. These will be calls, okay? 57.50 was the top. I didn't guess it. I looked at the options pricing, and then 57.55. 57.55. Boom. Look at that. Each one of these spreads is about $1.20 each. Isn't that awesome? Now let's go look at the picture. Perfect. I call this a football trade, folks. These are the uprights, right? Like I told you, there's the roof, there's the basement. That's technically the roof, and that's technically the basement. Just kind of roll it sideways. So the S&P 500, you see this dotted line? We're right in the middle right now. The football is the S&P 500. It needs to stay finished between the uprights. Hell, it can hit an upright as long as it, hits and stays in. With this trade on your screen, folks, you are risking 245 bucks to potentially make 255 bucks. There is a 60% probability of making at least something. That's what we call the break even. This is a beautiful looking trade. It's called an iron condor. Why? Because I don't know, the wings, these are called the wings. It looks like a condor flying, okay? But remember, this is a range bound trade. S&P can move all over the place. We need it to stay between the uprights. 57, 52 to the right, upside, 55.47 to the left, the downside, okay? Now, this tactic down here where you see calls, this is called a bear call spread. This is the bear call spread. Up here is called a bull put spread. I'm going to give you the link in a couple minutes here to join so you can go take the options weapon school training and learn for an hour, hour and a half about an iron condor tactic. This is why we have options weapon school training. I don't sit here for an hour and a half in a live trade brief and talk through the iron condor. You already watched it. You've watched it 5 times. You have your manuals, primary, intermediate, and advanced. You read an iron condor, okay? In the live trade briefs that you're in right now, it's practical application. I watched the iron condor training, Wiz. I know what I'm doing. Now I'm seeing you do it live. Remember, the bear call spread down here is also what we call a credit spread. It's just like the bull put spread. Double the credit you take in is where you'd maybe eject. And then 7, 8, 9, 70, 80, 90% profit is where you'd close it and take profits. Okay, we did one of these last week on the S&P 500, I think. Was it last week, the big wide one? So with the Fed meeting on, and so this is, I'll show you one contract based on this $100,000 model portfolio. I would probably, let's see what 15 does. With a $100,000 model portfolio, my SOP is I don't want to risk more than 5% of the model portfolio on any one trade. Where'd you come up with that? 34, 35 years of doing this? That's pretty good. This week, if you wanted to risk 4,100 bucks, you could potentially make 3,400 bucks. There's your full throttle. Let's go down to as many contracts to get an annual membership paid for this year. $29.95. Well, let's just go to 15 for the model portfolio, 250. Okay. I'm going to grab a screenshot. Let me go down to one contract though, just so I send out an order ticket with one contract because people trade, Wiz, I'm trading 50, Wiz, I'm trading 1, Wiz, I'm trading 90. I don't know what you're trading. It's none of my business. I'm showing you what I am doing. Okay, not giving you investment advice, not telling you what to do. That's between you and your God. SPX. Now I'm going to show you me blasting out the trade alert. Okay, let me grab a screenshot of the risk page. So everybody who's a current member, not the free people, unfortunately, is going to get an alert right now. So this is why if you're like, Wiz, I work every Monday at 10 a.m. Don't worry about it. You can be sitting in death by meeting and you're going to get the trade when everybody else got the trade. Okay. And then it takes about 20, 30 minutes when we end the brief for me to post the replay because it takes that long for it to render on my computer. Okay. All right. So let me go show you that and demonstrate the power of this fully operational Death Star. All right. So I just fired that trade. Now we're going to go over to our hunters right here. New SPX weekly iron condor at everyone. So everybody's going to get this alert. Beware the Fed meeting on Wednesday. I think we may get relief rally to 200-day moving average, but Jerome Powell may have other plans. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go grab the screenshots, my desktop. So I grab the image, it's right there, grab the metrics. So there you go. New SPX weekly wide iron condor, beware there's the 2 trades. I need to make sure it's in the right thread. Trade alerts, boom. Fired it. 1 potato, 2 potato. There's my alert. That was pretty good. Right there, got my alert. Let me do it real quick. I have to do it to my lifetime members, obviously, but they're also in the hunters. New SPX wide weekly iron condor. Beware Fed meeting Wednesday. Yeah, I'll give you the link right now. 50 new full throttle members. Once we hit that, we're done. I'm actually going to be done for the week, except my regular member briefs. All right, guys. Trade groups, full throttle. Solo Amazon, I might do Thursday afternoon at 1, but here's the link to join, okay? Again, folks, if you're like, holy crap, man, what the hell's an iron condor? That's what you're going to get when you become a member and you do your options weapon school training. Join now, go watch the iron condor training, okay? Here's all the different plans. I already covered this, but this is the best deal. With 1 trade that I covered today, if it expires worthless on Friday, you're going to make $3,300 bucks. Okay. If you do the 15 contracts, okay. Limited risk. Bob got filled at 205. Okay. Once we get 50 new full throttle members, I'm going to close the doors, folks. The majority of folks are right in here, $29.95 for a year. This is the tire kicker. Wiz, I want that app and I want access to that investment club. All right, but I want to try it out for a couple months. Try it out for a couple months. This, you get access to the hunters, obviously. This, you get access to the hunters. The $295 monthly, folks, is for tire kickers. I want to kind of keep feeling stuff out. I'm still kind of doing my training and everything like that. That's where the tire kickers go, $295. Okay. You get, everything's on here, folks. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You get access to the briefs, the manuals, trade alerts, angel investment opportunities. There are about 25, I think it's close to 25 now, investors in a REIT, Healing Realty Trust, that if they put 25 grand in there right now, it's probably made 6 times that amount. And so there are good deal angel opportunities that our members get. Just good stuff. This is our trading squadron, and I absolutely love what we do here at TOPGUN Options. I'm very passionate about what we do. I'm here to train you to make money in volatile markets. I just showed you a tactic that it doesn't care what happens. This is a range-bound trade out to Friday. That's the roof, that's the bottom. S&P can be all over the place this week as long as it stays in between those uprights. But remember, as the market does move up and down this week, close those trades when they hit your profit targets. I manage an iron condor not as an iron condor. I manage it as 2 individual spreads. Okay. What do you mean by that, Wiz? And look, we're already making money. Let me ungroup these. What do I mean by that? That's the bull put spread. So look at this. This is the iron condor broken up into the individual spreads. That's how I manage them. Okay. You can keep it together as an iron condor, but this is better to look at it this way, at least for me. But you can put them all together and say, no, I just want to look at it as 1 trade. Technically, it's 2 separate trades, the roof and the floor. This, ladies and gentlemen, you can look at it as 1 trade as well. Okay. Any questions? Here's how, and here you go. Men lie, trade is done. This is how we're doing. I'm doing in this port. What is this? This is the primary portfolio. We're up about 14.5 grand halfway through the month, just trading the S&P 500. Okay. So technically that, That is a lifetime membership, 15,000. I've made a lifetime membership so far at Top Gun Options in 2.5 weeks, trading the S&P 500. Okay. Any questions on that? Yeah, I'll give you the links in the chat box. It's right here, topgunoptions.com. We might still have slots by Wednesday. I don't know. Some I've seen times when we fill up by Tuesday morning. Other times I do the Thursday brief, so I'm not sure. Before I forget, let me give you the replay page. I forgot to do this at the beginning. Wiz, I came in late. I can't come tomorrow or see you Wednesday. This is the replay page. Okay. This is where I will post all the replays. Okay. go.topgunoptions.com/FT-replay. You know what's really cool before I forget, and then I'm going to go in about 5 minutes here. This trade, and you're going to learn about this in your training. Let me analyze it. It loves something that we call theta, time decay, right? There's some Greeks called options Greeks that you'll learn about in your full throttle training. And it's taken a while to update here. There you go. So theta is time decay. When you sell something, when you're a used car salesman and you sell a brand new or a used Porsche and it peels off your parking lot, folks, guess what? You laugh. Why? Because it immediately starts depreciating. We love to keep your eye where it says theta. we're going to go forward in time right now. Anybody notice what's going on with theta? You make money look at that, every day that goes by. You make money on theta, folks. So if this trade, if not necessarily the trade, if the S&P just moves, it's called theta, that Greek, time decay. I love selling things, folks. I love trades like this because we get time decay. As soon as I said the word time decay and said it again, you just made a penny. We are making money as I am talking. It's pajama money, folks. It's called theta. It's called time decay. Make sure, I got 3 minutes left. Make sure once you join, if you join the hunters, again, this is what it looks like. Go up to where it says learning up here. There's a video that gives you a brief on all this stuff. But down here to the bottom right is your options weapons school training. Okay. Let me just show you the area real quick. This is where you download your workbooks, folks. Your primary, intermediate, and advanced workbooks, all over here. My internet sucks. There you go. There you go. All the workbooks are over here. Intermediate, options pocket checklist, the primary, the advanced workbook. Okay. That's where all the workbooks are. Now let's go back. And then down here, all of the options weapons school training, man. There you go. There are your 6 sessions. Awesome. Look at this. If you followed along that iron condor, that's options weapons school session 4. We went today from here to here. So again, I know there was about 4% of people who were like, I'm new to all this stuff. Please don't freak. You do this, you do that, you do that, you will fully get that. Okay. Didn't mean to leave you guys in the dust, but I needed to focus on the middle of the parabola here. But for the 4% folks who are brand new, right there, man, that's where you need to start. Okay. Any questions, concerns, smart remarks? Oh, by the ways, this is what the member area looks like. There's AR, accelerated retirement. There's the primary brief that we're going to do tomorrow. There's solo Amazons that we usually do now at 10 a.m. I'll probably, once I get done my morning meetings, I'm going to place a solo Amazon trade in here, folks. I like an Amazon snapback. So I will do a solo or an Amazon trade today. Let's go look at that real quick. I got 1 minute left. Usually we don't go an hour and a half, folks. I'd rather get my teeth drilled. Look at that. We're getting back here, baby. It's a battle to get back to 200. This is a gift. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll show the new members. You need to buy Amazon, folks, with both hands. It was a $245 stock a month ago. It's at 200. It's the Death Star. It prints money. Buy it. And I'm going to show you how to use options to buy it on the cheap. Don't buy 100 shares of Amazon today, folks, unless you got 19 grand. I'm going to show you how to get 100 shares of Amazon for a couple grand. You're welcome. You're going to love me for it. So, all right, I got an 11:30 meeting for our foundation, so I got to get going, okay? Replay page is right here, wherever it was. 195, whatever it is, man. It's a gift. Wherever it is today, it is an absolute gift. That's the replay page. That's obviously from last quarter. Go.topgunoptions.com/ft-replay. No, I'm not confirmed for Thursday. If we get 50 people, I'm not doing it. I got stuff to do. If we don't, I'll do the brief. Okay. All right, guys, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. I love this trade. I love this range bound trade. Wednesday is going to be a big afternoon with Jerome Powell talking. I don't think he's going to cut rates. I don't think he's going to raise rates. It's the spoken word, especially with a month and a half of Trump trade war stuff. Jerome, start popping the popcorn now for the Wednesday Fed press conference. It's going to be a doozy. All right, guys, God bless. Fights on. Namaste. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.